Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be finally doing my January TBR. I know we are like halfway, a little close to halfway of January, but better late than never. So if you guys want to know my TBR list for the month of January, then keep on watching. So for the month of January, I am actually going to be reading 6 books. I know, crazy. However, I think 3 of the books are to be finished in the beginning of February. So I am just adding it into my TBR for January because I am starting in January, finishing it in February. Most of these books are for book clubs. Like I mentioned in my past 2 videos, I'm in a book club now. So I had downloaded this app named Fable where you could create or join book clubs, and you also could keep track of all the books that you are currently reading, or just like Goodreads where you could add books that you want to read, currently reading, or have read. I decided to join different book clubs from different TikTokers, and it is so much fun. You could be in discussions and people have the same opinion as you, people don't. I mean, it is just great. So I'm just gonna mention this one off the bat because I already DNF'd it because I do not like it. The writing was just horrible for me, and it just wasn't it, girl. It wasn't it. It was Skin of Night by Claire D. Bennett. I'm in a book club by Iman's Books. It's a spicy romance book club, and that's the book that we're currently reading for the month of January. And I hate this book. A lot of people hated it. Most of everyone DNF'd it. Yeah. So I also DNF'd it because it just was not it horrible writing. Horrible. Oh, sorry. I think it's 7 books. I forgot that I added one more book that I last minute decided to join in a book club. So it's 7 books. And so the book that I'm currently reading right now is actually Beautiful Bastards by Christina Lauren. And that one's also for a book club that I last minute joined because I was bored. And it's Kimmy's Infinite TBR. This book, I actually do have a physical copy of it. It's over there, so I'm not gonna go get it because my bookshelves right now are falling apart. Yeah, I'll show you guys a picture of that. That's what it looks like. So I'm not even gonna go touch it, but that's the book that I'm currently reading right now because that one I'm supposed to be finished by January 25th. I was actually gonna throw this book out, like unhaul it, and then I saw this and I was like, ooh, perfect opportunity to finally read this book. The second book is a book that I actually just read, and I just uploaded a book review of it, and it's called Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. So this book is a thriller, and it's the second book that I've read by her. I love how she writes, and her stories, they're so captivating, and I love it because they always keep you wanting more. I'm always like reading one page after the other, like I cannot put it down. I read them in one day. I really recommend that one though. That one is about it's about a girl named Libby Jones who just turned 25, and she gets a letter in the mail. This takes place in the UK, like different parts of the UK. She gets a mail saying that she's inheriting this huge London home that belonged to her birth parents because she is adopted. She was put into adoption like at 10 months old because a tragic accident happened in her home. A suicidal pact, which was her parents and this other man that no one knows about, and two teenagers that used to live there who happened to disappear, and no one knows anything about them. They can't find a single trace. It's like if they don't exist. So it's 3 point of views. It's her brother's Henry, hers, and her sister Lucy's, but Henry's is the one that goes from the past to the present, and then Lucy's is the current present time, as well as Libby's is current present, and Lucy's just point of view of her being in south of France and trying to get herself back to London. Libby's point of view is just finding out the truth of what happened in that house. Really good book. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars just because I wanted more. It is a very dark book. Henry's side of the story is very creepy, and it was creepy to the point where I had to tell my boyfriend to come with me to the restroom because I was so scared. That's how creepy it was. At least it was for me. The third book is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This book would be the first book that I'm reading by this person, by this author, but I actually realized that I have one of their books here, and I didn't know that. I have the book Say You Still Love Me, and I never read it. I remember I got it at Barnes & Noble, but I just never read it. If I like the author, I guess I have another book to read. So this one, it's about a girl named I am going to pronounce his name so badly, but I'm gonna say it the way you would say it in Spanish. So Kaya, because it's double L, so you say yeah. So Kaya Fletcher is trying to reconnect with her father, who lives in Alaska, I believe, or somewhere over there. She left Alaska with her mom when she was young, I guess, and moved to Toronto because it's a very rural place. It's a very wilderness place and lifestyle, and I guess the mom didn't like it. And so she is returning at the age of 26 to finally reconnect with the father that she didn't grow up with. And so there's a man there named Jonah, who happens to be one of the persons who takes care of the dad's plane. So yeah, he doesn't think that she could make it and do it to be able to live there, and she's trying to prove him wrong. So it's a love story, obviously. Because this book, I got it from Dita's Biblioteca. Yeah, it's a Blushworthy Books book club. Like I said, all these books are going to be from book clubs, so just keep that in mind. That's the book that we're currently reading. This book, I'm not supposed to finish it until like March 8th or something like that, so I have plenty of time to read it. So I'm keeping this one as an option for this month. It's probably gonna more than likely be a book that I'm gonna start reading in February. The fourth book is on Dublin Street. I'm sorry, I'm sick, so I can't even talk. Samantha Young. This is a Chamber Secrets Books book club. It's by Cameron Capello. So I think this is the point of view of a guy, because the way that they describe the synopsis, it makes it seem like it's the guy's point of view. So it's about this guy named Brayden who's trying to get with this girl named Jocelyn, which I think I'm gonna like because my name is Jocelyn. So he's trying to get into her pants, and he knows that it's gonna be difficult because she has a certain past where she is very like, I don't want relationships. So he proposes, like, I guess a deal with her where there's no strings attached, and like she's intrigued, so she says yes. And the one thing I do like about this book, I think it takes place in Scotland. So the man, I don't know the woman, but I know that he's Scottish. He's a Scottish man. So I'm very intrigued. Because the fifth book, is this my fifth one? I don't even know at this point. I lost track. It's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know this book is very popular. It's one of those books that are TikTok, I would say famous, or it's a book talk book that got very popular on there, and I'm pretty sure half of the world already read it. It's on my TBR, but I know that I was never gonna get around to it, so I'm very glad that this book is in one of the book clubs. It's the Book Talk Book Club by Lawrence Library. So I'm glad because I finally get to read it. So I don't remember much about it. I just do know that Evelyn, I believe, is a Hollywood icon, and she does like an interview. I think it's a biography. But she chooses this one person, this lady named Monique, who she believes like her career's going nowhere and she's getting a divorce, so she's having a rough time. Evelyn chooses her to do her biography, and I guess she goes to her apartment. I don't really know much, but that's how it makes it seem. So I'm very excited for this one. It's a book that I wanted to read for a very long time. Like I said, I'm like trying to go back because I'm trying to find the books that I'm reading. The seventh book that I am reading for this month that I actually already read, and I have a book review on here, so I'll have the card up here or the link down below in the description. You guys can see my book review of what I thought about this book. But it's for the Read and Tell Book Club by Isabel Gurley, or Jurley, I don't know. It's You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. I read this book and I loved it. I loved it so much because I feel like it was such a realistic story of what relationships go through, and I just loved it because it has to do with a married couple who are miserable currently together, and you know, they try to destroy each other's relationship, like, because they are supposed to be, I mean, no, they're not a married couple. They're engaged but to be married. They try to break things off with each other, but the thing is, part of breaking up is that if whoever does it has to pay for the wedding bill, which has to do with all the reservations and all that they have done for the upcoming wedding. And so none of them want to do that. So yeah, they do pranks on each other, and I love it because they work hard for the relationship, and I think that is very realistic in life, where sometimes your relationship goes dull and you just don't feel it for each other anymore, and you just need that little spark to remind you why you guys got together in the first place and why you guys were in love with each other. I love this book. I loved it so much. I read it in one day and it's probably my favorite book of this year so far. So those are all the books that I am going to try to read this month of January. That is my TBR list for this month. I kind of figured for me to read more, it was a better idea for me to start being in book clubs so that I actually have a time frame of when to read them and people to discuss the books with. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below what you guys thought about the books that I'm going to be reading. If you guys read them, let me know if you guys enjoyed them. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!